It's your bro.
Chris, what's up, bro? We are sending out the live right now, so I can see you. You can't see me. I'm just on the phone here. Bro, what's up, man? Yeah.
You want to send it on my phone?
I can do that. This is nice.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Told you we weren't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be. You did?
I sent it to Juice already. I didn't want to send it to him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to block it. Like, block.
Nick, thanks for coming back. Chris, how's it going, bro? We're talking about our feelings today, bro.
Yeah.
I've already almost cried once.
It's okay, though. It's okay to cry. You have them for a reason. You have tear ducts for a reason. Alright.
Ooh, there we go. Oh, his request has
I
to
got
be
a headache. Yeah, request again.
We ain't.
Alright, I'm gonna send it to people from my phone.
Gotcha. Yes, you are.
What? Whatever.
Yes, you are. Nah, brother's like, hey, Chris, be open to crying, man. We're gonna open the floodgates, man. Andy, thank you for joining, brother. Get your Kleenex and everything. Not your Friday night Kleenex, your Tuesday night Kleenex. Like, we're gonna cry in here.
You're so silly.
We ain't going nowhere. Oh, that's what Hi, Ro. We are just waiting for our co-host to jump back in here.
Yep. We're having some really good conversations. We appreciate...
Ground Ricky got shot. Ricky!
Oh, okay. I just want to say my people.
Cool. And make sure he's not texting. I can get out of this if I make sure he don't text me.
I don't know. Hi, Jess.
Oh, he'd have to join the live, right?
Yeah.
Did you send it?
Yeah, I did. I sent something from yours. I haven't cried since I got DQ'd from the military. Aww.
Oh, we
sorry.
apologize, brother.
Sorry, guys. We had to pause it real quick.
If it's on Do Not Disturb, would it come up in the notifications?
Yes.
Those are old notifications.
It will come up in notifications.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Hello to my sister. Oh, we shouted you out earlier.
Yes, and congratulations again on 12.1 pounds.
Keep it going.
Waist wear.
Hi, Elijah. Thank you for joining. We are talking about black men and...
vulnerability. I missed my cue because I suck.
It's okay. You were massive for a second.
Yeah. Well, though. Ray, what's up, family? How you doing, bro?
What's up?
I said we are waiting for our co-host, brother Sir Wilkins, to hop back in here. We will be right back on track. Sheer.
Oh my God! I was about to pop for her.
Sheer,
You suck.
Sorry. Dang.
So every time we talk about this, I keep thinking about Nell and how she's like more masculine than feminine, and then Fat has to like remind her. So for those who don't know, we're talking about Toby and his group. He has Toby, Nell, and Fat, his wife.
Toby Nwigwe.
Yes, who's an awesome artist. Go check him out. His friend Nell is very masculine, and sometimes she forgets she's feminine. It's like she's a female, and she like more considers like, oh yeah, she doesn't really have feelings, but Fat has to remind her, yes you do. You are a woman, and you can't, categorize yourself like that. Whew, it's hot in here.
Yeah.
Stop.
Are we at 14? No,
We're at 10.
That's good. I'm just gonna check on our co-host real quick. Let's see.
He joined. Yo. So weird how people tend to. I'm sorry.
So feelings aren't a gender thing. It's just that men have a harder time expressing their feelings for different reasons.
Can I add him?
Yeah. Especially as like the men in here, just like we spoke about earlier, or even like expressing our feelings to each other is a task. But even men are in competition. Men can be immature. Men don't know how to process their own feelings. They don't know how to accept other people's feelings either, like venting. Yeah.
Welcome back, Sir Wilkins.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? What's going on? You?
You can hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Gotcha. Is everybody back in there? Are you sharing it or are you good?
I'm good. People are joining back.
Yeah.
All right.
Andre Encore.
Yep.
Nasty Leroy in the building.
Wait, what? Nasty Leroy's there?
Yeah.
Official Nasty Leroy isn't here. Yo, brother. Takeover.
Alright, so
Did that come from generational masculinity? Wait. So do you mean that in like a negative or in a positive way? Do you mean that? Which way? Because I do believe it is generational. Because we would either watch like our fathers or uncles, which we're about to jump into right now. Yeah. There's certain values and teachings and like family code, for lack of a better term, that are passed down to generations.
and I feel like generation is important too, because the way your parents grow up and how their parents grow up, that's all gonna be taught down to you. So if they're taught, if your great grandfather is taught not to show emotions, you're more than likely gonna teach that to your grandfather. So the cycle is gonna keep on going.
So speaking of generational masculinity, if Wilkins is ready to jump back into this.
Yeah, we could talk masculinity. I'm sorry. SmackDown's on too. I'm watching that as well.
Got you. No, you are a Black business. We appreciate your time. We all getting some work done tonight. So many of us were raised without a father, or just don't have our fathers in the home. So to give you a little bit of my Black thoughts, according to ifstudios.org, the number of Black children born to single mothers has tripled from 24% to 70% from 1960 to 2018. There are many systemic challenges that are Black economically, Black men have lower rates of upward mobility and higher rates of downward mobility than their Caucasian counterparts, which leads to large income disparities, which could last for generations. Economic struggle can also affect educational outcomes for Black men, with many men dropping out of school to work, whether legally or illegally. We all got to pay the bills, support themselves and their family. Even the Black men that do graduate college are more likely to graduate from a for-profit institution with larger amounts of student loan debt. There are also physical and mental barriers that also plague this community. We've discussed the effects of like depression and anxiety mentally on a person, but physically, by the age of 45, and have a shorter life expectancy of 3 years than our non-Hispanic counterparts. And with fathers out of the home, whether they be in jail, just living on their own away, where you would spend primarily your time with your mother under your mother's influence, or honestly, some of us have deadbeat dads. For a boy to learn to like control like his emotions, like how to control and express his emotions. I got through that by the grace of God. It can be a task because women, our mothers do their best but they can only do so much with a boy.
Yeah.
Teach your boy how to be a quote unquote
man. So what's the question exactly? That's you just raised some deep shit right there. Pardon my language again.
So
It's alright. I have accepted the fact that you guys are going first episode.
yeah.
I have let it be.
Yeah. So whether it be your like father or father figures in your life. You okay?
You said, was there a father figure in my life?
Yeah, well I know you had your dad.
So okay. My dad died when I was 8.
I'm sorry.
When I was 8, my mom, who I call my mom, is not my real mother, so she adopted me after my father passed away and stuff. I saw how my dad moved, but my dad was like your typical old school dad, like from that generation, which is I work, I come home, the wife takes care of everything. Saturday, the weekends, I'm out with my friends, but I'm paying the bills and I'm taking care of the business in the house. So me and dad was somewhat close, but we weren't close like the way like the TV dads, the Huxtables and the Winslows were. That was definitely not what I got growing up. Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned this once again. This is my opinion. This is my thoughts on it. I'd rather a kid have no dad than have a shitty dad.
Yes.
You bring that up a lot, and I agree with you.
So her and you and I have also talked about this before as well.
Yeah, because your dad's around, but he beats on your mom. He doesn't do what he needs to do, or your dad is alive and he doesn't do nothing for you. He's just completely gone and out the picture, and that will take a toll on any kid, male or female, but especially a female to me, but a guy in a different type of way.
Yeah.
So that's how I believe on things, but I thoroughly believe a quality male should be in every guy's life for many reasons. One, it's like it gives you a glimpse in how to be a man.
Yeah.
Like my uncle was around and he's been married to his wife for the past 25 years. So which is why I always believe in marriage, because I've seen that.
Yes.
I've seen them go through shit, and I've seen him stick by his wife, and them go through whatever they go through and still together. And he isn't the most alpha male that I know, like stereotypical. Like his wife is more aggressive than he is, but he's just chill. He's just who he is. But a male needs to be around for a kid, like in some type of form, like, and even like I know we say celebrities aren't role models, but it makes it a whole lot easier. If you see a dope dude on TV doing dope things, you're like, okay, he looks like me and he's doing cool stuff. Yeah. Granted, once again, celebrities aren't role models.
Yeah.
But it's always easier to see great male figures that look like you doing cool stuff and doing positive stuff. I believe we need more male figures in the community in general. Like just taking care of the community, like, you know, just doing things. Because maybe you don't have your dad in the picture, but your neighbor has a whole family. He's taking care of it. You guys may never talk. When a kid sees that, he's like, "Oh shit, I want that."
Yeah,
I like how that looks.
That's how I am in a way. I want to I've been like marking out about it all over my social medias like for the last like 2 weeks. That's basically what the last thing you said was basically Hakeem from Moesha.
Yeah.
Where like the dad was going through like the whole series, and then like he just had Frank.
Yeah, like you want to see dope stuff in your community of people doing stuff, and like I remember I have an uncle. He's my dad's father, and he was taught that a man's supposed to like provide. That's it. That is it. That is it. And I never saw him growing up until like I was like 25. My cousin called me. Was like, "Yo, I'm your cousin. The last time I saw you when you were 8 years old. I think we need to be like closer because we're around the same age." And then me and him finally linked up. We have a pretty good relationship. But he always talks about his dad. He's like, "My dad never came to saw you because he never felt that he had enough money to help you guys out." And I think that's another thing where some men get scared of like being a role model in somebody's life because they feel they can't give anything like financially.
Yes.
So they're like, "Yo, I'm not a man if I can't give anything." So they get lost in that type of sauce, and then they end up, which is no excuse, but I'm just giving an example of what it is, where they go, "I can't do anything, so I'm going to leave the situation and not be there in the kid's life what needs to be done."
Yeah.
Because that's one of my biggest fears. Having a child and I can't financially take care of that child.
Yeah.
Because that shit hurts. And you know, diapers are expensive, formula is expensive. Like, I can't afford to give that to my child, and then imagine the baby mother like, "Look at this bum over here."
Yeah.
Like, that's another layer of things, and some men just can't handle that, so they disappear from the situation. But not knowing that you being there and being a dad and being there for your child and just loving your child, it's so much more important.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that with my goddaughter. Like, I have a goddaughter who I fucking love to death, and I'm like, "Yo," I'll hit up her mother like, "Yo, I'm gonna send you some bread. Like, what do you need?" She's like, "You need to just come see your goddaughter. That's it." Like, but that's the mentality that I grew up with. Finance is important over everything.
Yeah.
So that's my whole like spiel on men in the household type of thing, and why some guys run away from that responsibility because they feel they can't offer anything, because us as men feel that, like we always talked about on the previous live, that money and finances is number one. We're here to provide. That's not, our job is not for the loving part. Our job is to provide. And that was my dad. Yeah. The 8 years my dad was alive in my life, it was bills are paid. You got clothes on your back. All right, cool. Your mom handles loving you and hugging you.
Yeah. I feel like that same way, like with me. I feel like, like maybe because so I grew up, like when I was adopted, my mother was already like a single mother.
Yeah.
Had, like my two oldest brothers that like her like biological kids, they were already like adults. My oldest should have been like 21, and then like second one would have been like 17 when I was born, and the rest of us are like just like smaller kids. So I didn't have a father growing up because of that. Because when I was adopted, she was already sick. But then like, so like my brother had my niece when I was like 8. But like before that, that was always like basically like my dad. And then even when he moved out, we lived in like big like 2 or 3 family house that my cousins owned. So like every morning, like, and even like weekends, he would still take me to like his house. I would still go to church with them like every Sunday. So like every Friday night, he picked me up at my mom's house and then dropped me off back at home Sunday night to go to school. So like I always had like my brother, even if just on the weekends, and then like next door, I always had. He's my cousin, but he's Uncle B. And they were both married men with like, my cousins has 3 kids. My brother had 2 kids. So like growing up, I didn't have a man in like my own household, like full time. But like every morning when I'm like going to school, because like I live in like 90s, 2000s Bed-Stuy. It was now before the jungle came. So it was like when I go to school and like I pass the corner of my block, yeah, like the dudes were out there like on that corner like 6, 7 a.m. already out there. But I didn't live in like the building on the corner. I live in like a brownstone. So like coming out of my house, the first people I saw were like, I'm going off to school. The first people I saw was like my brother who worked in a hospital, so he's a Black professional. And then like my cousin was a correction officer when I was growing up, and now he does like
Yeah.
security, but he's like a suit and city hall stuff. So like these were like the men that I saw. Morning, like coming home from school, I saw coming, no matter what I saw on the even like as a teenager, I did like have like my wild things where I was like out there doing like stupid shit that I didn't have. I shouldn't have been in. Like I still like knew like there was better because like I saw better from them. And even like whenever they found out like I was doing like wild shit, they would sit me down and talk to me. And it was just like from that, and I was like, I do believe like there's like a missing part because I know like out of everything, like I just know them to be hardworking providers. But like I said like earlier, like I wasn't like their kid. So there's like time there like that's missing. So there are like pieces of this of what we would describe as manhood.
Yeah.
I had to like learn on my own, or maybe to this day like I still just don't have because like there's certain things where like no one ever taught me how to talk to a girl.
Oh man.
No one had the sex talk with me.
Woo!
Yeah.
You know how I learned? YouTube.
Damn.
I learned how to talk to women from YouTube. Anything sex was because of the Spice Channel. That's what I learned.
So I'm a little better because I had real sex on HBO. So
oh, you fancy!
At least they taught me shit. Like I learned something.
The only thing I do is this is gonna get a little graphic. I'm gonna tell you how ignorant I was. So the first time I decided to, have sex, the girl was like, "Yo, get some lube because whatever, that." So instead of getting lube, I ended up getting Vaseline.
Okay.
And using Vaseline as lube. So that's how ignorant I was when it came to that.
Yeah.
Because nobody taught me the ways of doing it. My mom wasn't going to talk to me about that shit. And what's funny, quick story, my first girlfriend, the one that took my virginity, she comes over for Thanksgiving. And my mom's sitting there, and my mom's like, "How are you guys doing? I see you guys are dating. I hope all is well." And she's like, "Hey, can you guys do me a favor and use condoms when you have sex?" Like she just says it out the blue in the middle of like we're eating. Cause like I know how my son is. I know where his collection is at. So I know how feisty he is. Please use condoms. I don't want no babies in this house. That was my sex talk from my mother.
Okay. See, like, I never got one. Like I found out. So I used to sneak girls like in and out of my house.
Yeah.
Like I used to like just cut school and like the chick would be there like all day. And I would hide this from my mom. And even though like my room was on the top floor of the house, so we had to get through the whole house to get to my room. Hopefully I grew up in the room that had the bathroom in it. So like we could go all day and like not have to like go back downstairs. But then like I found out later, like my mother knew the whole time that girl was there. She just never said anything. And it's just like, yeah, like avoiding like having that conversation with me, like not knowing what to say to me like at all, and like also I was like the baby, so maybe she was trying to just like keep me happy. And, like it was just me and my sister, so like really, and then like I had like one of my brothers like grew up in the with me, but he's like introverted.
Yeah.
So like I knew he knew she was there because like his room was like across from mine, and I'm just like, oh, the nigga walked in one time. Sorry. And like still like he still like never said shit to me. But like yeah, and then I was like the first like even like losing my virginity, I was never taught like this should be like something special. I just knew
neither did I.
Yeah, just from like learning to talk to girls was dead just like my friends. And like keep in mind, like when I was a teenager, I was like everyone was like, I'm really dark. So like growing up, like as an adult, I love myself. But growing up as a kid and like they cutting your ass out there. That's
Oh.
I was in my 200s like my whole teenage year. So,
Wow.
like, yeah. So like learning, like doing like the shit that they were doing to like talk to girls, get their attention, was not working for me. But as soon like they only have like their way, so they're just like this is what you got to do. But it's not working.
So
look, nigga, I told you what to do. I got nothing.
So the girl that I lost my virginity was my first serious girlfriend. And I didn't bag her. A friend of mine bagged her for me, basically. So you're probably asking that how does that happen? So let's go back to our first conversation in the last chat. Remember AIM, everybody?
Yeah.
So AOL Instant Messengers, for the young people that are watching, was like, think of it as sliding into your DMs, but like on a bigger platform. So my boy Shane O'Mac, shout outs to him. He was like, yo, I know you like Jessica. ASL, yes, always Smitty. I know you like Jessica. I'm gonna get her for you.
Age, state, and location.
Yup, age, sex, and location. Or age, sex, and location.
Okay,
to make sure you're male or female. You don't know if you don't know the thing. So anyways, my man Shane was like, yo, I'm gonna get you, huh? What up? So he pretends to be me on AIM using my screen name, and he's talking to Jessica. Just talking to her, making her feel good. He's throwing he's being super charismatic. I just sat there. And I was like, yo, tell her I think she's pretty. He was like, nah. That's corny, bro. I got you. So he's does all of this, and then he gets her number. Then finally, I speak to her on the phone, and me and her speak to her. We speak, and then we ended up getting to know each other, and then we end up dating whenever. In the long term, I end up he put the initial work in. I just finished it off. Like he threw me an alley-oop. He threw me a very good alley-oop. Like it was perfectly put in position. It fell right into my hands, and I dunked it down. But yeah, I ended up dating her for about a year, whatever. But that was my first girlfriend type of situation because I was never taught how to talk to women. I was never taught the whole concept. And then after me and her broke up, I was like, how am I supposed to get another girl? How does this work? Yeah. So I went to YouTube and started looking at YouTube videos, and I discovered something called pickup artists. Yes. It's a whole culture of how to pick up women.
I don't know if you remember this. It was either on E or VH1, but there was a show called
VH1.
Yeah, and it was just a creepy, skinny white dude, teaching
people. Yes.
Yeah, and it was just I'm watching this episode. I'm like, how is he even getting this woman? But that's basically it's just basically manipulation. Where it's just basically he's picking out women, and no matter how beautiful they are, he's basically doing the Terminator scan. Is what weaknesses can I pick out to bring her down a notch to make her feel because I know So if I walk over there and she's this guy's ugly, but I'll be like, hey, your shoes don't fit. Now she's humbled. And the shield is cracked a little bit, and you can slide in there.
Matthew Dennis said, "My cousin gave me the talk. Is that good, or is it supposed to be your father?" That's better than any. I didn't get nothing. At least you got something.
That is better. Whatever positive influence, whatever positive male influence you have in your life, you go with that. As long as you feel he's a responsible, reliable source. Yeah.
My friends that I grew up in high school and in junior high school, they were the cool kids, so the girls just flocked to them. Not any of them really talked to girls except for my friend Shane, who hooked me up. Shane was a definition of hard work when it came to women. He would, remember when you used to legit talk on the phone with a girl, up all night type of shit? He would talk to a girl from 6 p.m. in the afternoon to 5 a.m. when the sun is coming up. He put in work to get chicks. So that was my way. But my introduction to sex was also, and this is I'm gonna get a little graphic, but I'm gonna get real about it, especially growing up, was I've seen girls get trains ran on them.
Same.
Huh?
That's the same. I think that's more normal than we may realize growing up in like, even bro, like I think we're both kind of hood adjacent.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of normal.
Yeah, because I remember once, and I'll never forget this thing. And now that I look back at it, I'm happy I didn't jump into it. My boy Shane hits me up. He's like, "Yo, I got this chick over. I just finished it up right now. You trying to slide into this?" I lived on the next town over. I'm 16, 17 at the time. Bruh.
Facts, but shaking my head at Nick.
Hold on. But it's a 15 to 20 minute walk to his crib from my crib. Ladies and gentlemen, I got there in 10 minutes. That's how OD hyped I was. This is before I lost my virginity. I ran. I said, ooh, ooh, ooh. I hate running. You see me in training. I hate running. So I get there, and he's like, "Yo, she's upstairs, bro. Just go inside, and then do your thing, B." I go upstairs, and she's just sitting there. And I was like, "Yo, hey, what's up?" And she looks at me, and I was like, "You trying to do?" Like, I'm acting like the most nicest way. I was like, "So you trying to do the do? Like, what's good?" And then she's just like, "No, not really." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I went back downstairs. He's like, "Yo, that was quick. Like, you ain't getting on?" I was like, "Nah, I didn't." Now, growing up, I saw the most inappropriate way to deal with women when it came to sex, besides being on a train. Like, I had another friend who was like ridiculously like aggressive with women. And I wasn't there for this one, but I heard the story about it. So same chick again. My boy hits up my boy again too. He hit me up, but I was with my family, so my other boy comes through. And he's like, "Yo, what's good with homeboy?" I'm not gonna say his name. I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Yo, the girl was trying to leave. He blocked the door from the girl leaving." And I was like, "What?" Guys, that's rape. That's point blank. Yeah. But that's what I thought it was. Like, you had to be that aggressive with me. You had to, like, they don't give you the pussy, you take the pussy.
I think a lot of young dudes think that. But that could be like misconstrued or just misguided, or just mistaught.
It's misconstrued and misguided, but also his dad wasn't around. He had to live with his step-pops. Like, now that I look back at it, all my friends weren't really close with their pops. None of them were, like, if they had a guy in the picture, they weren't really close with them. And it's sad. I think us as men, we kind of go through like this generation you talked about, this generation of like not understanding how to be a father.
Yeah.
Like, being a man is easy. There's like basic shit you got to do to be a man in technical forms, but being a father is so many layers that many of us never fully understand.
Yeah, because we never I've just never seen it.
You never had, and if you did have a dad, like I talked about earlier, like, he was a shitty dad, or he just wasn't really around to show you stuff or be there for you. And also, this is something females that are watching it, I also see there's also toxic moms in the situation.
Yeah. So do you mean like from mother to daughter or mother to son?
Mother to son.
Definitely.
Where there's like, she's so mad at the dad, she sometimes takes it out on the son.
Yeah.
Or it's the complete opposite, where she overly mothers the son and doesn't give him the space to be an adult, to be a man and grow up.
Yeah. quick question. Do you believe that mothers should call their sons kings? Or like their king?
Their king?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a little weird. But
I say no.
huh?
I say no.
Why?
Because then I think that's how you raise like, that's how you kind of raise like a narcissist. Where it's just like you've given him like such this high title as like a child. Like you're a child, like you didn't ask to be here. But as a child, you've done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So like from like the age of like 2, like you're hearing like you're telling them like your mother's telling you like yeah you're like a great man, you're the man of the house and everything, and you've done literally nothing. So like, but I see like a lot of people like they grow up thinking like doing like the bare minimum still makes them a king.
Yeah.
It's like this shit like you have to like earn this king title. Like you gotta put food on the table, you gotta put some money in the bank. You have kids, these kids need to be provided for financially and emotionally.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta be a king.
I think sometimes there's a balance, and I don't know how to do that. When I do have kids or when I adopt whatever, I'm gonna have to learn that balance where you got to give your kids confidence, but then you've also got to like not them think that the world owes them anything.
Yeah, you have to give them confidence and humility at the same time.
Yeah,
I think that's very important, and I feel like you see that a lot when kids aren't told no. Like once you say no, when they're like, oh, how dare you? Like, I told you one thing, don't like. Nothing has your name on it, so you need to hear no more often. I feel like people get spoiled, and reality hits them later when they're told no enough.
So, have you heard like all the allegations against Trey Songz lately?
Oh yeah. Definitely heard it.
So basically, I was pointing out to her like this is like dead nothing new. Keke Palmer said this about him like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, are you sure you took the wrong way? Like, are you kidding me? Like, were you there?"
Yeah.
That gets me tight. Like, this is why women don't say anything to like when things happen to them. There's question.
Yeah.
So this is my take on it. It's fucked up, and that's he's raised on the mentality that I grew up on, like that no means that like overly aggressive sexual mentality. But also they laughed at it somewhat on the Breakfast Club when she said it.
I don't remember the whole interview. I do remember them like they weren't really backing her, but they aren't.
Yeah, they weren't backing her, and they didn't. And the way she said it, she said there was issues with it, but the Breakfast Club didn't make it into like, yo, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what. Oh, so you guys want to inform the audience what Trey Songz did?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want me to take it?
Yeah.
So Keke Palmer said like this was like 2 or 3 years ago. Like he invited her to a party, so she went to the party, but he was using the party to shoot his music video. So she was like, hey, I'm not here to be in a music video. So then he was just like, no, well, let me just tell you the concept. I bet you'll like it. So she was like, nah, I'm just going to leave. And he wouldn't let her leave. So she said like she hid in like either a bathroom or a closet, and her friends can't find her. So she was just like, on the Breakfast, he specifically said that he was trying to like sexually. So now there's been women since then in the last 2 or 3 years where they've said that like either before or after sexual encounters with him, he hasn't allowed them to leave, and it's always been the same MO where he takes their phone and refuses to give it back. Like if someone like takes your phone, like this day and age where we're like not slaves to like technology, unless you can scream really loud, like this is like a hotel, you can't call for help. You can't call for an Uber to get out of there. You can't call your friends and like text them the room number and shit like that. So like, yeah. So and then like There was one woman that said, like, I think he did hit her. There's a woman, like, in the past week that said, like, the sex was consensual, but then he just peed on her. But, yeah. So
I saw that one. That was on Adam 22's page, where the sex was consensual, and then she was like, yo, I'm trying to get out of here, and he was like, nah, you're staying here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to leave, and she was just like, nah.
Yeah. So
nah.
From my count, in the last 4 years, there's like 4 allegations that are the same exact story. Where he's like, yeah, like, you can't leave. One of them was just like, I think he was supposed to get picked up, and he was like, you can leave when I leave. And he just didn't let her leave. And then I was just like, it's about like, and I like, Trey Songz was raised by a single mother too. And it's just like, and like, she did like give him like that king mentality, and it did work out like a very successful human being, but like also like Trey Songz is also I don't care. Trey Songz is also like considered like an attractive man. And then like if you grow up and like your mother is like telling you like you're a king and like the world belongs to you, and like when you're attractive, like you can go further places in life than like a normal looking or unattractive person. So like when you get like a no, that like logically, and like a narcissist, that's gonna trigger you. That no.
I also think it's because he had success at a young age.
Yeah, he was like 17 when that came out.
Yeah, like he had and then I used to teach a lot of privileged kids. Like I'm talking about serious money. Like families own companies, family owns multiple houses, and a lot of these kids, their parents don't tell them no. They get access to everything. And I remember once, this one kid I taught, he didn't do the project that I told him to do. He wasn't doing the things for him to get an A in the class.
Oh, no.
And I gave him a C. I get a call from his dad. His dad tells me that I need to change the grade, blah, 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 blah. Then the school tells me to change the grade. And that's the thing. A lot of times, like you talked about, kids are given everything at a young age where there's no boundaries and nobody's telling them no, so they understand yes and no. And they grow up thinking that the world belongs to me. And Trey was 7. Like, imagine, let's all put things in perspective. You're 16, 17, and you're getting a ton of money. You're sleeping with, and at the time, like some people don't talk about, these 17-year-old male stars are sleeping with 45-year-olds, 35-year-olds.
Yes. Chief Keef's like baby mom, like she's not even the first one. She is 20 years older than him. So he was 17 when she was 37.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. And then you're getting grown chicks. You loving that. So you feel like you're on top of the world. And when a girl tells you no, they're gonna say no. And then the thing is, 9 out of 10 of the time, they're not going to like complain about it. You're gonna get away with it. So if you keep getting away with it so many times, you think it's okay.
Yeah. And then like, so while we're on the subject of him, I also wanted to touch on like my Black thoughts on like the media portrayal of Black men. So
Yeah.
if I can just I'm just gonna ring off what my thoughts that I have right here. As you stated earlier, celebrities are not meant to be our idols or role models. They're all humans. They have like their own issues. But since they have like the platform and like the fame and the fortune, and, like, for a child, those are the things that we are taught that we are to aspire to have. So it's like, basically, as like a young Black man, like our celebrities are rappers, athletes, and I would say actors come in like a close a close third or fourth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like as like black men. So we have like our Kendrick Lamars, we have our J. Coles, we have our Washington, our Will Smiths, but like these aren't always the things that like sell and get like the most. So like, what I had like there was just like LeBron James opened a school in Ohio and it got big media attention, as it should. But then Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe Kardashian for like the 5th time and it got that same exact attention. So it's like a boy, like if you're like a child and you're from the hood and you're gonna be like which one of those headlines are you gonna gravitate to more? Opening a school and you're like a kid yourself and you don't even really like school like that, or Tristan Thompson who's rich and Khloe Kardashian's rich, she's attractive, and then he gets another woman on top of a Khloe Kardashian. And then like you get rap music where like I believe Kendrick and Cole are like the biggest artists like in hip hop, along with Drake. But then there's also those artists are, like, they make it so far because nowadays they're also like way too and far in between because like drug dealing rap, gangbang rap still sells, and now like we also have like depressed rappers. Even though I like them because they're willing to like open up about their feelings, it does get too sad at like some point. But it's just like as a man, I think a young black boy, like there are these are the things that like we gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
Another point I had, like I know you've seen Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Where I say the EP because she was a very sheltered black child. Where, like, if you had to say, like, if you had to name like an iconic character from that movie, who would you?
I like Cuban's character.
Oh, okay.
That was my favorite character because it reminded me of me. But most of people probably say Ice Cube's character.
Doughboy.
Yeah.
Right. But then also in this same movie, we have Lawrence Fishburne as Furious Style, which is Cuba's father, and he was a great portrayal of a black father in that movie. His like sole purpose was to like raise his son and help build up his community and teach them about generational wealth. But the one that like popped off in that movie is Doughboy, who from the beginning of that movie just got out of prison.
I think there's many factors that plays into this stuff. One, Doughboy is like an easy name to remember, first of all. But also, for the Tristan Thompson thing that you mentioned, the Kardashians are the Kardashians. And they're always going to get media attention. And it's always for the wrong things. They build their media empire off of that. So they just know how to curate attention. And I think we're at a better place in the world. And granted, the media does portray our people not in the best light. But I think we now can Google stuff more. We have different forms of getting social media. We have more positive black stuff out here. Like this whole page is about that. You can see that we have more access to that. Where I think nowadays the media is not whatever 5 channels you get on your antenna. The media is cable, internet, all that stuff. You know what I mean? I think that's it's changed now, but it's still going on. But I think we have more access to see the betterment of the world because Black Twitter is amazing.
Yes.
When somebody does something great, you will know about it.
Yeah. But also, I think like a lot of like the bad stuff gets highlighted too, and like we spoke extensively. Like in like this episode, we talked about like the normalization of like men's trauma and tragedy.
Yeah.
With, like Will Smith, like in front of like millions of people, had to be told that like, hey, his wife had a whole affair. And then Tyrese wasn't allowed to see his kid and was like being like just buried in like months and months of like back child support and had like a very public and was ridiculed for it. And that, the other one was Safari, Nicki Minaj's ex. He had an interview, I think it was like Angie Martinez, and he got robbed at like gunpoint, like right before he walked in the studio. And so like that, like she noticed something was wrong, so she was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Dead, like nah, like I just got robbed." And he cried, and like she let him vent, but like other rappers made fun of him for this, and it was just like. So I think like Black Twitter, like I do love Black Twitter, but like sometimes I think like with all things in life, there are some people that's just gonna take it like in the wrong direction.
Oh, of course.
Like, all the celebrities have like the most followers, and like they don't all use their platform. Like even like the one that like jumps out, I remember like making fun of Safari the most was T.I. And like T.I. as like a black man, as like a leader, and like intelligence, and like just being like a strong figure. Cool. As an individual, T.I. is like mad toxic and mad, like especially to women. Like,
that's just as how he was raised and what he perceives about reality to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's sad. It's sad. It's not cool, and that's the sad reality. But I think when it comes to our trauma as a male, it goes back to what I said before. We're seen as just being strong, and when you see that vulnerability, it looks weak because we're not used to seeing that. We're not raised on that whole concept of showing your emotions and being open and being sensitive about things. When you're sensitive and you do stuff like that, it's like, you know, like when I got shot, I had a mental breakdown, but I did it by myself with nobody around there.
I'm sorry about that, brother.
Yeah, so like I'm in the hospital bed with a bullet, and like I'm not supposed to be able to walk. Like I'm fucking breaking down, but I didn't do it in front of anybody. I try to stay positive in front of everybody, and that's how I was always taught.
Yeah, and so like I'm similar in like that same way, where it's just like well, she can attest because there are times when things are just going so wrong, I just need to get away. Literally, I come home. Where like I used to live by myself, now but like I would just come home, I would dead like whatever I want to eat, I just eat it, get alcohol, get drunk, go to sleep, and just chill in here by myself, listening to either R&B music or gospel music, whatever's gonna cool me out. And then like I'll just be by myself and just eat all my foods. And then like, but in my head it's just like because I know I have to get. I only have one day to be like this.
Yeah.
Come here, do everything, drunk as hell, fat as hell, go to sleep. When I wake up, that's it. I can't stay like that because I have to go back to work. I got to go get it. I got to go see my daughter. I got to take care of my mom. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And that's sad, but it's reality, especially when you're trying to move up in the world. Because I was always taught shit happens, you just gotta keep pushing.
Yes.
Yeah, like, because like you said, you have responsibilities. You can't let that be the end all be all to the situation. You can't let that end you.
Yeah.
But then it's the question is, when is being too strong sometimes not enough? So it's another question you got to ask, and it's like, when can I be okay? And because I know I've had male friends who've gone through depression,
yeah,
legit depression, and they just went through it on their own by themselves, and it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah,
but that's the sad reality of the situation.
I've done this like 4 times.
Huh?
I've done this like 4 times.
What?
I battled depression, like just dead by myself. From,
I usually just
like teenage years,
disappear.
Like I had to realize, like as I got older, like That's like it was just me and like my mom in the house. My brother's like wild introverted, and like my mom's like always been like older. It's just like no one. I had to realize like it was literally just like a couple months ago. Then I was like no one knew what was wrong with me but me. My entire life. And I just had to just get through this.
Like when I'm dating somebody, I'll disappear.
You get away with it.
I'll just be distant. You'll notice, but I just don't talk about it. Just something that I have to do on my own. I just have to. That's how I get over things. Yeah.
I just tell people like, hey, you know, a little rough right now. I'll text you in a couple days.
Yeah, that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
But I gotta finish watching SmackDown though, bro.
Gotcha.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So we are signing off. Episode 5 of Black Thoughts on Black men and vulnerability. This has been a great episode. Thank you, my brother Wilkins, for joining us. My beautiful co-host, who still has a little bit of a headache. I'm about to make her feel better right now. So thank you guys. Thank you, Black family, for coming out. We appreciate you. Peace.